Hey friends! So just like we saw in that video, we are going to practice addressing letters today. So this is the part where you write on the envelope so that when you put it in the mail people or the mailmen know where it goes and know who to send it to. So just like in the video, we're going to practice by writing on these lines. On an actual envelope, most envelopes don't have the lines on them, but I drew them here just to give us an idea of where we need to space our letters. So I'm going to write my letter to the Muffin Man. Now there's a couple ways you could do this. You could draw with a marker or the pen, or you could use the text boxes. I know that the text box is sometimes a little bit confusing, so I'm going to show you with drawing first, and then up in the top I'll show you with the text box, okay? So I'll use this pen, and I'm going to make my line actually really small so I can fit all my letters in. I'm going to write this letter to the Muffin Man. Have you ever heard the story about the Muffin Man? Muffin Man, just like that. So it's totally okay if you want to just draw in all of the lines. Okay? So that goes on the first line. The name of the person you're sending the letter to goes on the first line. On the second line, we put the address. So the address here is 1, 2, 3. Oops. Gonna erase that. It was kind of messy. 3, 4. And I'm going to say Drury Lane. That's what the song says. Now it's really important that when you, almost looks like it, let's see, that looks like a C, so I'm going to redraw it to make it look like an E. When you are writing an actual letter, it's really important that you are super neat when you write on the envelope. Because if you think about it, the mail people have to be able to read your writing to know who to send it to. So if there's a letter that looks like it could be another letter, it could be very tricky for them to be able to send it to the right person. So it's really important that you go slow on a real letter. On this, we're just practicing, okay? And then on the bottom, it's going to have the city, the state, and the zip code. Okay, so here we go. So I'm going to say East Palo Alto. East. And you know what? I feel like this might take me a little bit. I'm going to make a text box. I'm glad I have this little redo button right here. So I'm going to make it all go up here. I'm going to say East Palo Alto. Put a comma. Then I'm going to put the state. Now each state has 2 letters when you're sending an envelope that represent it, right? So California, you represent that with a C and an A. Those are the 2 letters that mean California. If this Muffin Man lived in Washington State, where Miss Peters is from, where I'm from, those 2 letters are W-A. So if you know somebody that lives in another state, something cool you could ask them is, what are the 2 letters that represent your state if I was going to send you a letter? So I'm going to put C-A for California. That represents the state. And then I'm going to put the zip code. The zip code for East Palo Alto is 94303. I want to make it a little longer. Can. Okay. And then I'm going to move this down here onto the line. All right. Awesome. So now I'm done with who the letter is for. Now I'm going to go to the top corner right here. It's called the return address. This is where you put your information. So I'm going to put my information here. This in the center is really big, is where you put the information of where you're sending the letter. And here is where you put your address. And just like in the video, it said that we put our information on the letter just in case it gets lost or they can't find the person. They will send it back to you so that it doesn't get lost forever. Okay, I'm going to use a text box for this one. So I'm going to write Miss Peters. What's really cool about the return information is that it's the exact same way as who you're sending it to. So you do name, address, and then the bottom line is the city, state, and zip code. So I'm going to hit enter. So it goes down. I'm going to write my pretend address, 5678 Teacher Avenue. And then I'm going to write my city, state, and zip code. So my city that I live in is San Mateo. Then I'm put my comma. And remember, I'm putting my state, and the way I write California is CA. That way I don't have to write California the entire word, because California is a pretty long word. And then my zip code for San Mateo. Each city has a different zip code. My zip code is 94403. It's really similar to the one for East Palo Alto. And that's because they're really close. Okay. Now I'm gonna make make it a little bit bigger. Just like that. And actually I might go like this. Just like that. Okay, awesome. If my zip code's underneath, that's okay. Or I can write it out, or I could make it a little smaller even. Oops, wait, I didn't want that. It's okay. I'll just leave it like that. Okay, it's all on those lines. And here, this is the fun part. Now you get to design your own stamp. For this video, I'm just going to make mine really simple because I want to make sure that you get time to do yours. So I'm just going to draw a smiley face. The stamp is a really, really important part that we can't forget when we're sending an actual letter. A stamp is something you can buy at the post office, or sometimes stores have them. But that tells the mail people that your letter is good to go, that it can be sent. All right, and so that's all we have to do for sending our letter and writing on our pretend envelope. I can't wait to see your try at writing your first envelope on the next slide. And I can't wait to see my favorite part, what you come up with for your stamp design. All right, you got this, second grade.